Hello and welcome back to Confidence in Christ with Kayla. Today we are at Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verses 1 and 2. The word of the teacher, son of David, king of Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. Now, you're probably wondering, why on earth are we listening to this verse? And it's because, I don't know about you, but I have related to it more times than not. So verse 1 is basically like an intro to who's writing this, and it doesn't come out and say his name, but it's written by King Solomon, because he was David's son, and he refers to himself as the teacher throughout this whole book, and the whole book is written by him, and it is a really neat book because of the perspective that he wrote it from. If you remember, Solomon was given all the wisdom. God asked him, what can I give you? And Solomon said, wisdom. God was like, great answer. And he gave him all this wisdom, and he did lots of great things. But here we find him kind of reflecting on his life, and he says meaningless 4 times in one verse. Oh my goodness, Solomon, what are you doing? And it's a great kind of reflection because we've all been there, right? We have put our trust or our works into a job or into a person or into, name it, right? Pick something of the world where you have poured yourself into and not gotten back what you thought you would. It's meaningless, right? We look back and we're like, well, that was pointless. And he is just kind of feeling that this whole book, and it's really cool to read through because he reminds himself the whole time that it looks meaningless, but when we rest in God and we remember who he is and what he's done for us and what he's going to do, past, present, future, we got nothing to worry about. It might seem meaningless here, but something good is going to come out of it. God is going to be glorified, and as long as it's bringing us closer to God, we're solid. And the whole time, if you read the my Bible has different headings, and the first few headings are everything's meaningless. Wisdom is meaningless. Pleasure is meaningless. Wisdom and folly are meaningless. Toil is meaningless. He is just in a bad mood, it kind of sounds like. But we all get that. Our confidence is not always 100% in God, and that's okay. It is okay to not have full confidence in the Lord at all times. We're human. He gets it. He gets that we are not going to just be all sunshine and roses all the time. We have doubt. I mean, heck, one of his top 12 men was nicknamed Doubting Thomas. He understands, and he loves us even so. Even if we throw our hands up and we're like, everything is meaningless, he is still going to pour out his love and his mercy on us. And we are going to see his hand working in those things that we think are completely meaningless. So if you have just been kind of blah, I'm just over this, God, this just feels pointless, it's okay. It's okay not to be completely confident all the time. We just can't stay there. So dig in, kind of see if you can feel what Solomon's throwing down. And but don't forget, Solomon didn't stay there. Each time he came back around and he said, yeah, but God's good. God is faithful. And even though I can't see it, he's working. So don't forget that. Don't let your confidence stay low. Work on building it up because God's worth it, and he has got this all taken care of.